Hello everyone and welcome to another video on JavaScript programming. Kaushal this side from SimplyCode, and today we are going to discuss the date object in JavaScript. Before we begin, make sure that you have subscribed to our YouTube channel and press that bell icon to never miss an update from SimplyCode. So without any further delay, let's get started. So the date object in JavaScript is a handy built-in object specially used when working with the date and the time. So how the date object work is, whenever we create a date object, it goes ahead and grabs the current date and the time from the browser. So whatever time is there in our browser, the date object will grab it and give it to us as the output. So before we move on to the date object, let me introduce to you guys a small yet exciting function present in JavaScript. So that function is setInterval function. What this setInterval function or method will do is, it will run a function repeatedly after a specific interval. For example, if we have a function and we want to print that function in a browser automatically after 5 seconds. So in that case, we can use the setInterval method. So let's move ahead and have a look at the syntax for the setInterval method so that you can understand it much better. So let's create a function here first. So let's say we have a function named something, and then we have open and close round bracket and the body of the function. So what this something function will do, that it will print a string on the browser. So let's suppose we are using a document.write, and the string we are going to use is a basic string which we used in our previous program, that is welcome to SimplyCode. So this is our basic function which will print welcome to SimplyCode on the browser. If we call this function using the setInterval method, so this setInterval method will print this string on the browser repeatedly. Let's use the setInterval method here. So the syntax for using the setInterval method is, we have to write here setInterval, and we have to give two parameters. The first one is the function name. So we'll write here something and we'll call the function. Then after a comma, we have to mention the time here, which is in milliseconds. So 1000 here means 1 second. So let's say we are using 2000 milliseconds. So we'll write here 2000. And this 2000 refers to those 2 seconds of interval between the strings that will be printed again. So let's save this program, and here after 2 seconds you can see it's printing welcome to SimplyCode. So after every 2 seconds it will print this string. So let's do one thing. Let's use the h1 tag here. So guys, we have used the h1 tag here. What we are going to do, we use the h1 tag because it will make it more easy for you guys to understand. So let's save it now. And see, after 2 seconds it will print welcome to SimplyCode on the browser. Then again after 2 seconds the same string will be printed again, then again and again, and so on and so forth. So I explained this function right now because we are going to use this function today in a program. So let's move ahead and have a look at the date object now. So we'll go deep in the date object now. First thing is, while creating a date object, we have to keep in mind that in JavaScript we have 4 different ways to create a date object. So we'll discuss them one by one. The first way is to use the new date constructor. So we'll comment this program and let's save this program now. Let's have a look at the example of how to use the new date constructor. So what we'll do, we'll create a variable first. Let's say we are creating a variable where now, and we'll create a date object. So we'll write here new date, and this is the first way of how to create a date object. So we'll write here new date, and then what we'll do, we'll write document.write and we'll print now. So creating the date object will return the weekday, month, date, year, time, and the local time zone. So let's print this on the browser and let's save it. And here you can see it. It shows everything. It shows the weekday, it shows the month, it shows date, year, time, and the local time zone as well, right? So the date object is a static object. It means that the computer time will change, right? So whatever time it is right now, it will change after few seconds, but the date object will remain the same once called. So once we have called this function, the time here will remain the same. It will not change according to the browser's time. So that's where we can use the set interval method to update the time again and again after a specific interval of time. So the following way to create the date object is by providing the parameters to the previous function. So what we'll do, we'll provide here parameters to this new date method. So let's change this date object here only. What we will do is we'll use new date and we'll provide these parameters. So we'll provide the parameters as the first parameter will be the year, the second one will be month, the third one will be day, and the next one will be hour. So whatever value we want to assign as hour. So there are 7 basic parameters. So the 7 basic parameters are year, month, day, hour, minute, and second and millisecond. So the order remains the same. Suppose we are providing all the 7 parameters, then those 7 parameters will be taken accordingly. It's not like we can give the day first and then we move ahead and provide the year or a month. So if we want to print all the 7, so what we have to do is we have to provide all the 7 parameters. Let's say we are providing all the 7 and the last one will be 0. So let's save it now. So you can see here the year is 2018. So we have used here 0, so the month will be January. One thing to keep in mind is if we are writing 0, it will take as January. So if we want to print December, we have to use here 11 instead of 0. So if we write here 11, it will print December. So you can see here December is the 11th month because the month is starting from 0 in this case. So next up we have the day as well. We have Monday and we have the time as 10:33 and 30 seconds. So it's 10 hours, 33 minutes and 30 seconds. And finally it has the local time zone. So that's how the new date constructor work with all the parameters. Suppose if we want to print only 5 of these values. So these 5 values will be year, month, day, hour and minute. So what we'll do is we'll remove these 2 values, and if we save it now, so here you can see instead of the seconds it will print 00 because the default value of seconds will be 00 in this case. The fun part here is we have to provide at least 2 parameters here. If we try to put only one parameter, that is the year value, it will take it as a millisecond. So if we try to write here only 2018, so this is the year basically, right? So what we are expecting is it will print the year, but this is not what is going to happen. So if we save it now, you can see here it shows 1970, January 1, 1970. So this is actually the third way of creating the new date constructor in which we give millisecond as the parameter. So the last way we have to create the new date constructor is we have to use the new date along with the string here. So let's understand this with the help of an example first. So let's use here a string. What we'll do is we'll write here October 13, 2014 and we'll give it the time as 11 hours 30 minutes and 34 seconds. Let's save it now, and here you can see it shows the day Monday on October 13th 2014 and the time is 11 hours 30 minutes and 34 seconds along with the local time zone. So that's the fourth way of how to create a new date object from the provided string. Here you can see in the output it created a new date object from the provided string. So these are the 4 ways to create a new date object. Moving on, let's talk about the methods present within the date object. So just like we had methods for the math object, similarly in the date object methods are also present. In fact, more than 40 different methods are present within the date object. So here's the list of methods present within the date object. We have a list of methods having a variety of usage. So you can pause the video and take a screenshot, or if you want to note them down, you can do it as well. It's totally up to you guys. But these are the methods we have in the date object. So we have the get method, and then if we talk about, we have the set methods as well. So these are the methods and they have different functions. So you can see here, like the set date method, we can use it to set the day of the month for a specified date according to the local time. So similarly, we have many more methods, like we have more than 40 methods as we mentioned it earlier. So these are the basic 40 methods we have in the date object. So you can take a note of these methods and you can use them later. So we can't go through each of these methods, but we'll go through a few essential methods which we might need ahead in this particular course. So let's comment this as well. So what we'll do now is we'll create a program, a basic clock we can say, using few methods. So the first thing we need to do is we need to create a function. This function will print the current time on the browser. So let's say we have a function and let's say the function name is clock, and we have the opening and closing round brackets and the body of the function. Moving ahead, we will create a variable and a new date object. Let's do it first. Let's say we are using a variable cd, and what we'll do, we'll create a new date object. So we'll write here new date. So we have created a new date object. Remember, we have different ways to create a new date object, right? We'll be using the first one here. What it does is it will grab the current time and date and store it in a variable called cd. So now the variable called cd holds the current date and current time. This variable cd actually contains a lot of information, right? But we need access to only specific values like the hours, minutes and second, because we want to make a clock, right? So we need hours, minutes and seconds only. So that's where methods come into place. So let's declare a few variables first and then we'll use the methods. So we'll declare here three variables. Let's say the first variable is var hours and the second variable is var minutes and the third variable is var seconds. So we have these three variables now. The next thing we are going to do is we'll use the methods for these three variables. So if we want to take the value of hours from the new date object, what we have to do is we have to use a method, and the method is get hours. So how to use this method? We'll access the value of hours from the variable cd, because remember the cd variable holds a lot of information, like it holds whole information about date, current time and everything about that. So we'll use here var get hours. So similarly for minutes we'll use get minutes. And for seconds we have to use get seconds. So these are the three basic methods we are going to use in this particular program. So one thing to keep in mind is this method works with 24-hour format. So 3 p.m. will be stored as 15 in the variable hours. Similarly for the variables minutes and seconds we have two methods, right? We have the get minutes and the get seconds method. So the current value of minutes will be stored inside the minutes variable and the current value of seconds in the computer will be stored inside the seconds variable. The value of these variables will change every time we call the program, right? Every time it will print the current hour, minute and second. Now all we have to do is we have to print this time on the browser. So what we'll do is we'll use document.write and we'll print here. Let's say we are using the h2 tag. We'll print here hours, then we have to use the colon, then we have to print the minutes, and then again we'll use colon, and then finally we have seconds. So we'll close the h2 tag here, and now so we are done with printing the time on a browser. The final thing we have to do is we have to call this clock function, right? So let's save this program now and see here it says 22:22:50. It means 11 hours 22 minutes and 50 seconds. It's 11 p.m. right? So because we are using the 24-hour format. One thing you might notice that the time we have in a browser is static, which means it is not changing. So for that we have to use the set interval function. Let's use it here so that the time will change after every second. So if we want to do it, what we have to do is we have to use the set interval here. So the set interval method, we have to call the clock function, and then we have to provide the time after which it will be printed. So let's save it now, and here you can see after every 1 second the time is being printed on the browser. So it was 51, then 52, then 53, 4, and so on. So guys, these are some basic methods present within the date object in JavaScript. We have a lot of such methods present in JavaScript. We have already seen them in the video. If you want to use them, you can do it. That's quite easy to use them. So that's all for this video, guys. See you in the next one, where we will go through object literals in JavaScript. If you like this video, do give it a thumbs up, comment your doubts below, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe Simply Code. Thank you.